Today, we are going to navigate some very tender territory. We are going to talk about the heart, specifically the part of the heart that holds our friends. Are you lucky enough to have a best friend? Or perhaps you have known that deep, trusting connection in the past. Finding a true, loving friendship, the kind that makes you feel seen, safe, and secure, is one of the rarest gems in the human experience. When we find that person who finishes our sentences, who knows our history without us having to explain it, and who holds our secrets with care, we naturally wish for it to last forever. Having a soul connection like this is one of the greatest pleasures life can offer us. However, because that love is so deep, it can be absolutely devastating when we begin to lose it. Saying goodbye to a best friend is a heartbreak that is often unspoken in our society. We have songs for breakups with romantic partners, but where are the ballads for the best friend who slowly drifts away? It is a unique kind of grief. Yet, trying to salvage a friendship that is not meant to last can often do more harm than good to your spirit. Loving someone sometimes means doing what is best for both of them and for you, even when it stings. To help you navigate this difficult transition, I want to walk you through 6 clear signs that can help you realize that it might be time to let go of your best friend. The first sign is that you are constantly second-guessing the friendship. This is a subtle feeling, often starting as a whisper in your intuition before it becomes a loud thought in your mind. Though you might not want to admit it to yourself, you find yourself questioning the very point of the relationship. You look at them and you realize that you have both changed so much that it is almost as if you are staring at a stranger. We are not static beings. We are flowing rivers, constantly carving new paths through the landscape of our lives. Sometimes those rivers flow parallel, and sometimes they diverge. You might realize that you no longer have anything in common. You sit down for coffee, and suddenly you do not know what to talk about. The silence, which used to be comfortable, now feels heavy and suffocating. Conversations that were once easygoing, full of laughter and rapid-fire banter, now feel constantly awkward and forced. You find yourself scanning your brain for topics, terrified of saying the wrong thing, or worse, having nothing to say at all. Activities you used to love doing together now seem to have lost their spark. You might try to recreate old memories, going to the same places or watching the same movies, but the magic is gone. No matter how much you want to hold onto the past and the way things used to be between the two of you, you know in your heart that everything is just too different now. It is a painful realization, but acknowledging that the dynamic has shifted is the first step toward clarity. The second sign is that you simply do not communicate anymore. Communication is the oxygen of any relationship. Without it, the connection slowly suffocates. A very common reason why friendships end is simply that people grow apart over time. It is not always a dramatic explosion. Often, it is a slow fade. You and your best friend have gone your separate ways, physically or metaphorically, but you are still holding on, pretending that the bond is as tight as it ever was. You might still call them your best friend out of habit, even if you have not kept in touch or had a real, vulnerable conversation in ages. You barely see each other anymore. Neither of you makes a genuine effort to get together. When you do speak, it is superficial. You might tell yourself that this is normal. You justify it by saying, "We are just busy," or "We live far apart now." And while adult lives are indeed busy, we make time for the things that matter to us. If days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months without a check-in, the foundation is cracking. At some point, those justifications will start sounding like empty excuses to your own ears. You will realize that the silence between you is not just about a lack of time. It is about a lack of priority. The phone works two ways, and if it stays silent, that is a message in itself. The third sign is that you want fundamentally different things. As we mature, our values, goals, and visions for the future crystallize. We all have plans that we want to achieve in our lives, and sometimes pursuing those dreams requires us to shed old skins. It is incredibly hard when you and your best friend want very different things for yourselves. Perhaps one of you is focused on intense career growth and urban living, while the other is seeking a quiet, rural life focused on family. Perhaps one is on a journey of spiritual awakening and sobriety, while the other is still deeply entrenched in a party lifestyle. When staying in the friendship means sacrificing one or another's hopes and dreams, the relationship becomes a cage. You cannot dim your light to make someone else comfortable, and you cannot ask them to change their core desires to fit your narrative. Asking someone to give up their path for you will only make them resent you in the end, and staying in a dynamic that holds you back will only make you resent them. True friendship supports growth, but sometimes growth takes us in opposite directions. Recognizing this divergence does not make you a bad person. It makes you a realistic one. It is an act of love to let someone go, so they can find the tribe that aligns with their new path, while you find yours. The fourth sign is that you have found other friends who feel like a better fit. This can bring up a tremendous amount of guilt, but it is a vital signal from your emotional guidance system. You may not realize that you and your best friend are drifting apart until you make new close friends. Suddenly, you meet people who get your jokes immediately, who share your current interests, and who leave you feeling energized rather than drained. When being with people other than your historical best friend feels more compatible and comfortable, that is a clear sign that it is time to reevaluate. You might notice that with these new friends, you do not have to wear a mask. You do not have to filter your thoughts or walk on eggshells. If the status of best friend feels like a heavy title you are obligated to maintain rather than a joyous reality, it is time to let it drop. This does not mean the new friends will treat you better, or that you like them more than your old friend in a competitive sense. It simply means that you belong more with them at this specific stage of your life. You owe it to yourself and to your old friend to be honest about this energy shift. Clinging to an old connection out of loyalty when your soul is vibrating at a different frequency prevents you from fully embracing the connections that are meant for you right now. The fifth sign is a painful one. They have broken your trust. This is a particularly sad reason for ending a friendship, but unfortunately, it happens more often than we would like to admit. Trust is the bedrock foundation of any healthy relationship. It is like a glass vase. Once it is shattered, you can try to glue it back together, but the cracks will always be visible. Without trust, things can never truly move forward or get better between you and your best friend. Maybe you have just had one fight that went too far, or maybe it has been a series of small betrayals. Perhaps you have said things to each other in the heat of anger that cannot be taken back. Words have power, and once they are released, they hang in the air between you. If you find yourself constantly looking over your shoulder, wondering if they are gossiping about you, or feeling unsafe sharing your vulnerabilities, the friendship is effectively over. A study by Collins and Van Dulman from the year 2006 states that although repeated forgiveness and moving on is an option, often the healthiest thing you can do at that point is to start over and find peace with someone else. Forgiveness is for your own healing, but it does not mandate reconciliation. You can forgive them from a distance and choose to protect your heart from further harm. The sixth and final sign is that you are the only one holding on. Relationships are a tennis match. The ball needs to be hit back and forth. Finally, if you feel that the effort to keep the friendship alive is virtually one-sided, with you being the sole load bearer, then it might be time to end things with this person. Are you always the one sending the first text? Are you the one planning the birthdays, the get-togethers, and the check-ins? Does it feel like if you stopped rowing the boat, you would simply drift apart instantly? As much as it hurts to be rejected, especially by someone you have considered to be your closest and dearest friend, you must face reality. Trying to force them to change their mind or to care as much as you do is wrong. You cannot demand affection or attention. If they do not want you in their life anymore, or if they are indifferent to your presence, spare yourself the indignity and leave. You deserve to be in relationships where the enthusiasm is mutual. Asking for answers to get closure is an option, but be prepared that you might not get the answer you want. Generally speaking, it is not good for your self-esteem and mental health to stay with someone who clearly does not want you. It chips away at your worthiness. Reclaiming your energy and directing it toward yourself is the most empowering move you can make. I know hearing these 6 signs can be heavy. No matter how you look at it, letting go of someone you love is one of the most difficult and painful decisions you are ever going to make in life. It is a death of sorts, the death of a shared history and a shared future. You may experience a cycle of grieving. You might feel anger. How could they treat me this way? You might feel denial. Maybe if I just try harder, it will work. You will likely feel sadness, a deep, aching longing for the good times. All of these feelings are valid. Allow yourself to feel them. Cry if you need to. Scream into a pillow. Write letters you will never send. But through it all, trust that you will eventually understand deep down inside that it is the right thing to do. Some things are just meant to come apart, and that is okay. It is not a failure. It is a completion. People are meant to change and mature. We are like trees. We shed our leaves in the autumn to prepare for new growth in the spring. If we try to glue the dead leaves back onto the branches, we prevent the new buds from forming. Moving forward in life means learning and growing from your past, not being held back by it. The memories you shared with this friend are yours to keep forever. You can cherish the laughter, the lessons, and the love while still releasing the person from your present life. You can love them from afar and wish them well, understanding that their chapter in your book has reached its final page. Now, I want to turn this over to you, our wonderful community. Can you relate to this video? It is a heavy topic, I know. Have you experienced any of the points indicated here? Maybe you are in the middle of this painful process right now. Or maybe you notice it happening around you in your circle of acquaintances. How have you reacted? What tools helped you cope? Please comment below. Your stories help others realize they are not alone. There is so much wisdom in this community, and by sharing your experience, you might just be the light that someone else needs to see today. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to the Happy Aura channel. It helps us grow and continue to create content that nurtures your soul. Like this video, if it resonated with you, and do not forget to share this video with someone who might relate to it as well. Sometimes, sending a video like this is the gentle nudge a friend needs to prioritize their own well-being. We would also love to hear what you would be interested in us covering next. Are there other relationship dynamics, emotional struggles, or personal growth topics you want Jenny and the team to explore? We are here for you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being you. You are worthy of friendships that celebrate you, support you, and grow with you. Never settle for crumbs when you deserve the whole cake. Take care of your beautiful hearts. Have a great day or night, wherever you are in this big, beautiful world. Reflecting on the nature of friendship is a journey we take throughout our lives. It is important to remember that the ending of a friendship does not erase the value of what it once was. Just because a relationship ends does not mean it was a failure. It served a purpose for a specific time, a specific version of you, and a specific set of needs. When we hold on too tight to the past, we create resistance in our lives. This resistance manifests as stress, anxiety, and a feeling of being stuck. By learning the art of letting go, we open our hands to receive what is meant for us next. Imagine your life as a house. If every room is filled with old furniture that no longer serves you, there is no space to bring in new, beautiful pieces that reflect who you are today. Clearing out the clutter, whether it is physical items or relationships that have run their course, is an act of spiritual housekeeping. Let us dig a little deeper into the concept of the one-sided friendship, because this is often the most damaging to our self-worth. When you are the only one reaching out, you are essentially telling yourself that your time and energy are less valuable than the other person's. You are training yourself to accept less than you deserve. This pattern can bleed into other areas of your life, affecting your romantic relationships and even your career. By stepping away from a one-sided dynamic, you are making a powerful declaration to the universe. I am worthy of reciprocity. I am worthy of effort. This shift in perspective changes everything. You stop chasing and start attracting. You begin to align with people who are excited to be in your presence. You find friends who check in on you just because they were thinking of you, not because they need something. These are the connections that feed your soul. Also, consider the sign regarding broken trust. Trust is often described as fragile, but true trust is actually quite resilient until it is violated fundamentally. We often try to bypass the pain of betrayal because we fear loneliness. We think, well, a friend who betrays me is better than no friend at all. I want to gently challenge that thought. Solitude is far healthier than toxic company. In solitude, you can find yourself. In toxic company, you lose yourself. Do not be afraid of the void that is left when a friend leaves. That void is not empty. It is pregnant with possibility. It is the fertile soil in which your new life will grow. As you navigate this, be kind to yourself. You might have days where you feel strong and resolved, and the next day you might find yourself crying over an old photograph. This fluctuation is normal. Healing is not a straight line, it is a spiral. You circle back to feelings you thought you had processed, but each time you do, you are at a higher level of understanding. You are stronger. You are wiser. The concept of happy aura is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about authenticity. It is about having an aura that is clean, clear, and true to who you are. Holding onto dead friendships clouds your aura. It creates a static noise in your vibration. When you let go, you clear that static. You shine brighter. You become a beacon for the kind of people who will truly love and appreciate the person you have become. So, as you go about your week, I invite you to do a little inventory of your social circle. Ask yourself, do I feel energized or drained after seeing this person? Can I be my authentic self with them? Is there reciprocity? The answers might be hard to face, but the truth will always set you free. I also want to acknowledge that sometimes you are the one who has changed, and that is why the friendship must end. Maybe you have done a lot of inner work. Maybe you have gone to therapy, started meditating, or simply decided to stop engaging in drama. If your old friends bonded with you over gossip or negativity, they will not know what to do with this new, healed version of you. They might even try to pull you back into old patterns because your growth threatens them. It acts as a mirror to their own stagnation. In this case, leaving is an act of self-preservation. You must protect your peace. You have worked too hard to build it to let anyone dismantle it. Thank you again for spending this time with me. Time is our most precious currency, and I am so grateful you chose to spend yours here at Happy Aura. Remember to drink plenty of water, get some fresh air, and speak kindly to yourself in the mirror. You are doing the best you can, and that is enough. We are building a community here of conscious, caring individuals. Your engagement helps us reach people who might be suffering in silence, thinking they are the only ones going through this. By liking and sharing, you are casting a ripple of hope into the digital ocean. You never know whose shore that ripple will wash up on. So, until next time, keep your head high and your heart open. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep trusting the process of life. Goodbye for now, my friends. We will speak again very soon.